Hello and shalom. This is Jay Rivka Asulin, founder and executive director of Ancient Roots Israel. That is Enya saying hi. Welcome to my wild weed garden. You can see the oats that we've covered. I don't know if you can see other plants that we've covered yet, but that's okay. What an interesting, beautiful, gorgeous, and kind of ominous day. I have these storm clouds right behind me, which is weird because over there it looks great and over there it looks great. Ooh, well, maybe this is a good foreshadowing for the lesson that I have planned for you today. But first things first, we're going to locate the sun. We're going to roll up our sleeves towards the elbow. We're going to hike up our pants or our skirts. There I am on my bare feet. And I say this every day because I want this to be a signal to all of us to remember to get that 15 minutes a day of vitamin D from the sun, which is so critical in building and maintaining a healthy immune system. So please use this special time today between noon and 1, or whatever time zone you're in, but between noon and 1 is really the best time when the sun is at the strongest to get outside and get that vitamin D. Okay, so this is like a little interlude, but I was just playing with the oats while I was making these videos, and this one opened up, or I popped this one open just to see if, what stage it was at, and there it is. There's that milky sap. Such a great nervine that we covered in the other class. If you would like to see more of our classes, our class videos, please check out our YouTube channel. Where I've made incredibly low quality videos of each of these plant walks, missing some of the best parts, the audio notes and text. But it's better than nothing, so we invite you to check those out. Okay, so I'm back. So today I was thinking, well, I have that broom video that I promised you from when I made my last escape to the recycling lot on our issue, and I haven't played it yet. Excuse me, I actually licked the milk from the oat and it's got hair all over, which you don't want to eat because anyway, so I was thinking, well, I could probably use some of that, and I was thinking, what do I do? What will I do today? I wonder. And then my husband made a comment to me that we really need to do the yard. So if you're against us, yes, I see you. If you're against us cutting the yard, you can send my husband a note that it's really okay, that the yard is wild and we can observe all the stages of all these crazy things. I'm like looking around, like being eaten alive by these crazy, look at this. Wait, can you see it? Can you see this plant? It's just like, but what's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that, okay? I'm an herbalist, so nothing's wrong with that. And my husband, anyway, you can submit your request to him that we leave this lawn. On the upside, if we do end up cutting the lawn, my kids can actually play here, probably more safely since snake season is upon us. And also we can see some of the lower growing plants that had been completely dwarfed out and overshadowed by, these higher growing plants. So, but that'll take some time. Anyway, I was thinking about that, and I was thinking that maybe I should just cover some of the plants in the yard before they're not here anymore. So then I came outside and I started looking around to see what have I got here, and I've got some dangerous plants in my yard, and I was like, wow. And then I started thinking about the video I made about broom. And some of the witchier, I mentioned that some herbalists might consider themselves on the witchy spectrum. So I just want to have a little disclaimer right now. When I talk about witchy or witches or something like this, I'm not talking about avodat zarah. I'm not talking about drinking blood and, killing your firstborn. I'm talking about people who, what the term, the modern term witch has kind of meant today, which is people who feel in touch with the earth, in touch with plant life and animal life and connected to it and connected to the energies of the earth, know the plants, can identify plants, can use them for medicine, can really work in harmony with the earth, which is actually a Jewish concept, and that's part of our tradition and our practice going into antiquity. So I use the term witch a little tongue-in-cheek, but it also is kind of appropriate based on the modern usage. So today I have a witchy lesson for you, or I should say Enya and I have a witchy lesson for you. We're going to be working with some of the dangerous plants, taking a look at them, and maybe controversial plants. And I will do my best to explain what I can, but I should say that I haven't used any of these as medicine yet. But I know a bit about them, and I'm happy to share what I know. And like I said, we don't have to be experts to lead plant walks. We just have to know the plant that we're talking, how to identify the plant fairly well. And if there's some kind of, poisonous lookalikes or danger or whatever. So I hope I can do that justice. So anyway, without further ado, we will start with the broom lesson, which I will send to you right now from our YouTube channel. Okay, so I had mentioned French broom. I'm not so sure this is French broom. Actually, it might be Scottish broom. It's a broom, at any rate. I know it goes by common broom, but, the name common broom doesn't really give a distinction. There is Spanish broom on the way out if here I'll try and show you. The brooms are super, super invasive. You can see they just take over. They're growing everywhere. They have these really, really sharp spikes. Let me frame one for you. There you go. Can you? Nope. There you go. Can you see that? Really sharp spikes at the end. If we take an older, here we go. Here's an older kind of branch. We're going to follow it down. Look at that. They hurt. They're really sharp. Very thorny plant. And, invasive plants usually make great medicine. So I'm looking forward to hearing the story. So the reason that they're called broom, at least from what I've read, did I mention the pea flowers? Oh, look, there's a little bee right there. Hi, little bee. I didn't mean to bother you. That bee's just like, please ignore me, leave me alone. Okay, that's fun. Mary will like that. And, yeah. And Miriam will like that too. All of our beekeepers. Brooms were actually used to make brooms. So if you consider yourself a witchy kind of person, and people who know the plants and know how to use them for medicine oftentimes do, you might consider making your next broom out of broom. I'm not sure why. I'll get one without the flowers and see if it makes sense to you. I assume that the branches are kind of durable and yet flexible, and they can get into, they kind of all spread out and can get into fine places. Maybe witch's broom, you wanted to leave behind some spikes for someone you didn't like. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But that's what I've read, at any rate. There you go. Broom. I promised you Spanish broom. At a glance, I actually, when I was just looking at this, I was like, oh, that's got to be a Phaedra, right? But no. I mean, you can see up close. But from a distance, doesn't it kind of look like a Phaedra? Anybody? Well, anyway, I'm going to show you some of the flowers that will give it away. These ones have much bigger flowers. Let me see if I can find one. I've kind of got the car keys in the hand. Hang on. There you go. Okay, Spanish broom. This is a much more soft and flexible thing to make your brooms out of. Sorry, I'm holding one of the sages that I just picked up. Not the same as what's in my yard, but which I showed you before. But there we go. Okay, so this one doesn't have those sharp spikes. This is just kind of really nice and soft and durable. Look, I'm just gonna run my hand through it. You know, I'm not getting stabbed a billion times. It feels really nice, and I could definitely see a broom made out of that. Look at that, so majestic. This plant's taller than me. I'm only 5'1", so this has got to be over 6 feet high. I'm gonna try to you know, there you go. There's those flowers for you. You know, and just following down the stem. I know we haven't covered ephedra, but it really does kind of look like it. To me, anyway. And so there you go. There's some more, you know, fields of it. So enjoy. Okay, so I just wanted to add that the Spanish broom is not actually a true broom. And I'm really confused about all this myself, but I'm going to send you a Maud Grieve page about it and how it's used medicinally. Apparently, when Spanish broom blossoms were used in place of actual true bloom blossoms, there were poisonings that occurred. So just reminding you, I don't have any personal medicinal experience with the plant. I just know that it is medicinal. If you want to learn more, you'll need to check with someone who really knows that stuff. Okay, so moving right along to our next witchy plant. It's witchy because it's dangerous. Dangerous plants can also be powerful medicine. This is called a squirting cucumber, which I actually pulled up from the ground because my daughter, what are you doing? Who's sitting on my lap right now and making it difficult to film, picked it up off the ground. So I will show you the broken stem where I pulled it up from the ground. It kind of has a celery type look, but it is not celery. This is considered a very dangerous plant. But you know, you can see that kind of juicy, watery look. Okay, it has bristles on the stem, if you can see it, and on the really stiff bristles on the leaves underneath. This is the bottom side. It has them on the top side as well, and a very strong, prominent veining. Okay, so we've got the top side. You can see it looks like almost, I don't know, you know, to me it looks almost like a cabbage or a broccoli leaf or something like this. It's in the cucumber family, which is why it has the name squirting cucumber, I think. Well, I mean, not the squirting part, but at least the cucumber. So, you know, there's the leaves. They kind of curl up. Okay, they're, you know, I wouldn't call it shiny. That's more matte, but the sun is reflecting off of it. Okay, so the flowers, which, you know, here's a flower close up. Okay, 5 petals. Pretty distinctive flowers. I'm going to show you another one in a minute that I haven't pulled up. Let me see. Can we get in there? Oh, hello, fly on my nose. Okay, so just look at the leaves and look at kind of that veining on the petals. I'm sorry. There, just the patterns, the texture on the petals. Okay, and then basically you can see the end of that, just like any kind of squash or whatever. Okay, there's your flower, and here is the cucumber, quote unquote. Okay, but it's not a cucumber. Don't eat it. Really don't eat this. Okay, so you can see, if I can just get it still, can you see that? A bristly kind of pod. All right. Yeah, we're going to leave that there and move on over to the other plant, which is still in the ground. So here's another one. You see these all over the place. Okay, I was told in a comment to pan slowly. So, you know, that person may not realize that these are not professional level videos and that I'm on my phone with a child climbing on me every time I make them, but hey. I'll try my best. All right, so we've got an insect on there. If you know about insects, maybe you can identify it for us. We really like that one. Really sweet one. That's whatever insect that is. It's been hanging out there. Okay, so there's the flower again. Here we go back to the cucumber. Hello, where's my, there we go. Okay. So you can see there's the flower, just like any kind of, you know, cucumber or squash. All right, and here is the pod, which I'm touching right now because it's not ripe. I just realized you may not be getting a good view of that. Can you see all those bristly hairs? I mean, it looks, let me see. They're really stiff hairs. Okay, my camera's having a hard time with this. Okay, so first things first. When these pods mature, they actually get their name, their Latin name, which I don't remember off the top of my head, but it basically has to do with, go ahead, laugh away, but it ejaculates. It ejaculates its seed in a mucilaginous kind of slimy mucus, okay, and it just shoots it out pretty far, and that's how it, propagates. Okay, and some people have a contact dermatitis, some kind of contact reaction just from that liquid alone. The liquid has been dried and used as medicine, so it's kind of dried and like when it's dried, it's in flakes. I don't know, I haven't done it, but that's what I've read about it. And that's been used as medicine, but this medicine is highly, highly potent. So even in fairly small doses, it can cause death. So you're gonna want to make sure to be near someone, learn from someone who really knows how to use this and what the dosage looks like. I am not that person, much like the broom. I'm not that person, but I can tell you how it's used. So it's an abortive. It can cause abortions. Okay, if you're looking for a natural abortion, there are much safer plants than this. I'm not advocating for abortion or natural abortions or anything like that. So all the medical staff and government offices can sit back and go after someone else. But that being said, even though this plant has the power to do that, it certainly wouldn't be my first choice. Because even a small dosage can kill. Purgative, it gets rid of, liquids in the body, basically. So, and other things, obviously. So, diarrhea, vomiting, all that good stuff. But it can also save lives if you need that kind of reaction in a person to get, some toxins or poisons out of them. There's an oat caught in there. Okay. There is more that can be said about this, but again, I am going to leave that to sending you some links where you can learn more. Okay, and here is one of my favorite dangerous plants. Okay, so people have asked on this group already, what is this? This is black nightshade. Okay, not to be, first I want to draw your attention to these flowers. They have like little beaks, some have called them. Okay, not always. I mean, they end up in this shape. I'm trying to find one on here that isn't beaked totally. There it is. Okay. So, looks like a regular flower, but once they take on this shape, it's really distinctive. The leaves are soft with a little bit of fur, and those flowers are white. Very important. Wow. Oh, that was a tree branch. Not so helpful. Okay. Tree branch with thorns. We'll cover another time. Okay, let's have a look at the berries. The berries grow in clusters. Okay. All right. So, and we're going to look at another plant in just a minute. But I just wanted to get some of this. Okay, so this is not to be confused with deadly nightshade, even though deadly nightshade is sometimes called black nightshade, and sometimes black nightshade is called deadly nightshade, but it's not. I'll put the Latin name in the video. Okay, it's like Solarium nigrum or something like this, or nigra, I don't know. But anyway, while I butcher the Latin. Okay, so deadly nightshade is also known as belladonna, and it'll kill you. This one will only kill you a little. Okay, and so there's a lot of debate about how much this is actually going to kill you. So I just want to show you this plant. It's just kind of, it's an upright growing plant. I'm going to go to another one in my yard while I talk about it a little bit, one that has darker berries. So one of the important things about black nightshade is that the berries are only ripe when they are black. So let's see if we can find some black ones here. Here's another nightshade. Okay, another black nightshade. Okay, there we go. There is a red berry, poisonous. Green berry, poisonous. You can't eat those. But notice that they grow in clusters like this, whereas with the deadly nightshade, it's just one berry each. I'll send you some more videos about that show pictures. Okay, there's those distinctive flowers. Hello, camera. Can you find the distinctive flowers? Okay. So there's, these are fun because one is kind of like this beautiful little star. Hang on. But once they get to that other stage where they have like a beak, that's how I know. And they're white. Okay, here's some more red berries. There you go. They taste like tomatoes. Oh, I should, have an open disclosure. There's some more berries. They're pretty good size. You don't want to eat them red. They are poisonous. Okay, but here's my thumb. They're about as, they're like a small, maybe a small blueberry size, but they can range in size. Some can be small blueberry size. These are rather big, and some, I have Nahal trying to scoot next to me eating his oat straw. Okay, these are fairly big. These are fairly big. All right, now, okay, let's get into the controversy. Because this is listed in many places as a poisonous plant, and there seems to be some, lack of understanding across the board. So back to when I said it tastes like a sweet tomato, that's because I've eaten the berries when they are black, and I can't find any right now. But I will send you a video where you can see pictures of the black berries. I'm just kind of looking through. Sorry, don't have them. The closest we've got is red. I will take pictures if my husband leaves this plant up and it gets black. Okay, so yes, I've eaten the blackberries. I didn't die. You might read that giving them to children is unsafe. Blackberries, I gave them to my herbalist son Pele. He also didn't die. In one of the videos I'll show you, I gave it to you also. Okay, here's Nahal chewing on oat straw. He whispered to me that I gave it to him. He also is not dead. This was last year. Okay, in one of the videos you'll see a woman bakes them in a special pie, and gives them to her granddaughter, who also presumably did not die. And of course I gave it to my children raw. Okay, what is the point of this story? The point of this story is that sometimes, many times, words go around that give plants a bad reputation, either based on fear or are totally baseless, okay, comfrey, or are based on certain properties in the plants, which also could be said for comfrey, that are stronger at certain times of the year or of the season or in certain growing conditions that could potentially be dangerous during those times. My friend and partner for Developing Ancient Roots 2020, Bettina Thorball, is a big proponent of the need for only very experienced herbalists who know the plants quite well, especially for plants where there's any question about when they might have dangerous properties, should only, see a trusted herbalist. And she spoke about that with the plant Coltsfoot at Ancient Roots 2020. I respect her and, certainly agree with her with Kavitz. And, herbal medicine is people's medicine. You've heard me say it many, many times, but it's really true. This isn't supposed to be rocket science. Okay, this is, again, my opinion. Should we flash the disclaimer across the screen? This is my opinion. I'm not approved by the FDA. I'm not, a medical doctor. I'm not a whatever, although medical doctors are not trained in plants, frankly. So I'm not sure why that qualification would be helpful in what we're talking about, but there you go. That's the law as it stands today. That's the world that we're living in when it comes to any medicine outside of the Western medical model, and I'm happy to talk ad nauseum about that with anyone who cares to listen. But these plants, it turns out, in many places all over the world are eaten. Even the leaves, which are considered to be poisonous, and the stem, the whole plant is considered to be poisonous, except for the ripe black berries. Once the berries are totally black, not black with a little red, not really dark red like this. Can you see that? Nope, you just see the green there. Like this, okay? Hold them up. Okay, so this one's really dark red under my finger that I'm shaking, as opposed to the other oranges. That one is more dark. I'm colorblind, so, excuse me for that. But yes, also Nahal is colorblind. Okay, so, yes. So those, the plant is generally considered to be entirely poisonous, except some people feel that the dark black berries, totally black berries, are not poisonous. Not everyone's in agreement on that. But again, I eat them. Other people eat them. We are still alive. I may die from many, many things, but I certainly did not die from the berries of the black nightshade that I ate last year and the year before. Okay? So that's step one. Step two is about the leaves. Okay, now, if you get into it, many people believe that the young shoots are fine to eat. You just need to boil them first. You need to cook them. And, but then if you get into, but of course, they have lots of lookalikes, and I'll send you a video that's way better than mine about that. And if you have any question at all, you could really die. You could kill yourself by eating the young shoots of the wrong plant, because there are just too many close cousins in here. I'm just looking at some bindweed or bindweed here, which I will cover another time. Okay, but but you can eat the shoots after they are boiled. That is not the plant. That's bindweed. Sorry, my mind is still working on the bindweed. Let's go back to here. Okay, so black nightshade. Okay, but turns out that in many parts of the world, even though people say that these are poisonous leaves, and these are older leaves now and you can't eat them, turns out that people do eat them, and they also don't die, and they boil them, and they're really tasty and considered really healthy food staples in different parts of the world. So if you do decide to eat the leaves, remember that they do need boiled, and they might need, it might be like a lupine situation, which we haven't covered yet either, where they need boiled and then the water changed and perhaps boiled again to be extra safe. I don't know. I'm not a chemist. I'm not, but people really do eat these leaves and do not die. Although the general consensus is the berries that are any color than black will potentially kill you. Okay, so whole plant, possibly edible, although according to some, possibly toxic and poisonous. According to all, berries that are any other color but black are poisonous. Any questions? Fun plant. So let me tell you about how the leaves are used. The leaves of this plant are actually used medicinally. So I love it when the plants are toxic, kill you, dangerous, poisonous, and then here's the list of how they're used medicinally, which is another clue. Okay, but the leaves are actually picked at this stage when there are some flowers or later, and boiled, and then squeezed together, and you can make a poultice and use it on the skin for different skin ailments. This is anything from like a I don't know, eczema and psoriasis to oh goodness, ringworm, which is a fungus, not a worm. Okay, and any skin problems, you take that poultice and use it externally. I think most people wouldn't object to using it externally, but of course there's always a possibility that one can have a reaction to anything. So you are taking responsibility for your own health. And again, I am not FDA approved or, whatever. Doctors don't prescribe me to anybody. Okay, so the leaves are used in that way. Flowers are highly poisonous. You're not going to, that's pretty much according to everyone. You're not going to want to use those for anything. And berries can be eaten raw or cooked so long as they're black. I will give you some more links from people who use this, certainly more than I do. I don't use it at all outside of eating the black berries and not dying. And those will be coming up in just a minute. I hope you enjoyed today's Witchy plant walk, and I'd like to invite you to lead the next one. Ancient Roots Israel is a conference and community, and it's our community. It belongs to all of us. It's yours and it's mine, and I want to learn from you. We all want to learn from you. You don't have to be an expert to identify a plant or talk about plants as medicine or how you eat them or how you use them. You don't need any degrees. Herbal medicine is people's medicine. We are all herbalists. All people should be herbal people. We're all indigenous to planet Earth, along with the plants, along with the animals, and we're using more than our five senses to get to know one another. And back to that witchy theme. But there really are more than five senses, and when we get out in nature and try and get to know the species that are different from us, we need to use all of them. So we want to inform and inspire, build community, play with Mother Nature together at Ancient Roots Israel. So please let me know in the comments below or private message me about what plant you would like to share with the rest of us. Don't be shy. We want to meet you. We want to get to know you. Reach out so that we can create community together. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again tomorrow at noon. Same time, same place. Bye.